This week on the Knowledge Bomb, we're going to talk about four-person teams. So what is this going to mean for the existing teams? I believe it's going to do a bunch of different things for the community in general and for athletes. One, I really think that it's going to enable everyone to highlight and be able to see that team and those members a little clearer. If you have 6 people, the workload is shared in such a way that it's really hard to get to know every individual athlete within the team. Now, with only 4 athletes, everybody has to be that much better, and I believe that there's going to be very little tolerance for weaknesses or holes in the game. I think we've seen the sport change so much in the past 4 years where 4 years ago, a team could get away with having a hole in an individual athlete, a weakness. To where now, that 6-person format, it was really hard to get away with. I think this is actually going to even highlight that aspect even more, where this coming year in 2018, it's going to be that much easier to put together a 4-person team. I think it's going to give way to a greater emphasis on individual priorities. So now with 4 people sharing the load, the weight of each event is a little greater on each individual. So the need to develop that individual strengths and really attack those weaknesses is going to be that much more valuable in a team format. Who knows what the team format is actually going to look like with what the workouts are going to be and the amount of creativity that Castro could really bring to the table. But I think logistically it's going to open up the doors for a lot of different options. And I really believe that you're going to need individual games caliber athletes a year, 2 years down the road to have a team really be competitive at the games level. So my experience coaching a team has always been very individually focused, if that makes sense. You're only as strong as the weakest link on your team. Now, a lot of this comes down to communication, teamwork, and what the team as a whole brings to the table. This past year, right, with the Wasatch Brutes, won the Affiliate Cup, 6 of the arguably fittest team members in the world, there was a big focus on the individual development, right? Shoring up those holes that each member had, right? Focusing on the priorities of what they needed and overlapping a lot of the teamwork, if that makes sense. So if you take that into 2018, what does that mean for a 4-person team versus a 6-person team? Well, honestly, there's less of a need or an emphasis on communication and teamwork. Not to say that it's less valuable, but there's 4 people communicating instead of 6. So what this really gives way to is an opportunity for smaller pieces to be developed, if that makes sense. So personally, I would shift the focus into developing the communication between 2 people and individual strengths versus communication as a whole on the team. Now, you still need to communicate, move well, move as a team, but the chances of 2 people needing to communicate versus all 6, I think, is going to be greater in 2018. It's really hard to say. I'm excited to see what comes out. I think that we're going to see a level of fitness and a caliber of athletes that make up the team like none other coming up in 2018. It's going to be really, really exciting.